Okay, so here's a little amendment to the other video that I showed you guys, because I realized after watching it that the way that I was showing you to graph standard deviation wasn't using the means, which is the whole point of using standard deviation, is to compare means. And I was having you guys graph all of the data values. So with the same set of hypothetical data that I had, if you want to graph it to compare whether the means are statistically different, you have to first calculate the mean. And you can do it by hand by adding all the numbers and then dividing by the number of numbers. But Google Sheets and Excel can do this for you. So I'm going to choose to let it do it for me, and I'll show you guys how to do that. You have to choose where you want it to spit out that value. So I'm going to choose this area right here. I'm going to label this area as, for example, and then again my salt, mean salt value, and mean control value. And then here's where I wanted to spit out the mean for these numbers for salt, and here's where I wanted to spit out the mean for the control. And just like with standard deviation, to calculate the mean, which we're going to assume that's the same thing as the average, you're going to start by typing equals average, A, V, and then you see average here. And it's smart enough that it knows the values right above it. So you're going to click average, enter, and it already calculated the average for column B2 to B11. There it is, 5.3. And then here, it's going to do the same thing for the column C2 to C11. When I start typing in equal, AV average. Oh, it's not doing it by itself. So I'm going to just click average, and now I can go over here and highlight, and then click enter. And there's the average. So there's the average for the salt, there's the average for the control, and now I want to, these are the ones that I want to graph with the standard deviations that I calculated yesterday. I'm going to highlight all of this and insert chart. Insert chart. I don't want a pie chart. So under chart type, I'm going to choose a bar graph. And it already labeled the x-axis for me. I can go back in and label the y-axis later. This is the mean salt, mean control. But in order to be able to put two different error bars on them, since they have two different standard deviations, I have to check off this row right here that says switch rows and columns. I'm going to uncheck that. And then it makes them different color. It pops out their names as a key. And I can choose each bar individually. So I'm going to move this chart down a little bit so I can see the standard deviations that I calculated. I'm going to click on the blue one, on the salt one, and I'm going to scroll down over here to add in error bars. Same way that I did it yesterday. It's going to be a constant because I already calculated the value. It's going to be 1.9. And there it is, 1.9. Oops. 1.9. Not percent, we want it constant. 1.9. Okay, enter. And now I'm going to choose the red, which is the control, and go down to error bar. I'm going to make it constant. And this one is 2.4. 2.4. There. And so now my graph is ready to be copied and pasted if I want to. And you can see here that the error bars overlap a lot. Let me see if I think I can draw here. So the top of this one and the bottom of this one, there's a big overlap here. So even though the two means are different, right? One was 5 point something and the other one was 4. They may have different means, but the two data sets are not statistically different. I can't say that they are different. The difference might be just due to chance because the standard deviation tells me that they have a lot of overlap. And I know that because with the error bars, I can graph it and see it. So I hope this helps. Please reach out to me if you have any questions. And I will see you next week.